It kicks off later this afternoon. People are already milling around in the background. Ellie, I'm sure you've been talking to protesters. What is the mood?
Well, there's certainly a lot of tension here, Liam. We're outside the DP World offices in Victoria in London. You can see them just about to mobilise now. They're about to head down to Westminster, where Labour will be forcing a vote on how to deal with P&O, how to deal with the parent company of P&O, which is the Dubai-based DP World. We're outside their headquarters now. And it is going to be a very interesting development here, Liam, because there is an emerging split between the Tory party on how to handle this crisis and how to handle DP World. So as you just heard there, Labour will be calling for the Conservatives to vote with them to do three things this afternoon. The first is to outlaw fire and rehire contracts. That's what we're seeing taking place at the moment. British workers have been sacked on the spot via Zoom in a pre-recorded message, and foreign workers, agency workers, have been brought on reportedly for $2 an hour. They will also be asking for DP World to have all of its contracts suspended, and thirdly for DP World to be removed from the Transport Advisory Group. Now, Liam, it's that second point that could be a point of contention in the Tory party, and that is because DP World is heavily involved in government projects, including two Freeport plans. And the Labour Party and the RMT union, which is behind me now, are calling for all projects to be scrapped in response to how P&O have treated its workers. And Robert Court's Maritime Minister has said they will be looking at all contracts that may exist. Similar tone from Kwasi Kwarteng. He's asking for answers on his desk at 5 p.m. tomorrow. But in odds with all of that is Chancellor Rishi Sunak. He says that, yes, the way that P&O have treated their workers is appalling, but he doesn't think that DP World, their parent company, should be blocked from other contracts. He thinks the two are separate issues, and that is a really important point of contention, Liam. And this is the issue. DP World has invested heavily in London and Southampton's free ports, £300 million. A big player in the Southampton free port. 25,000 jobs in Southampton, 21,000 jobs in London. These are huge employers and huge investors. And one of the Tory backbenchers in Southampton, Royston Smith, has said that he's worried that Labour could be jumping the gun and putting Southampton jobs at risk. It's certainly an interesting development, Liam, and we will be seeing those voices this afternoon in Westminster.
Well, Ellie, characteristically, you've really pinpointed the issue there. We see the RMT flags behind you. That's the Maritime Union that represents a lot of these workers who have been made redundant. And, of course, a lot of government members want to sympathise with workers who've been made redundant in such a high-handed way. But at the same time, the government's doing business with DP World, the Dubai-based financiers that are basically part of the UAE government. It's big money, and that free ports project, tax-free ports across the UK that are possible under Brexit, that's one of Rishi Sunak's pet projects. It'll be interesting to see how all this develops. Ellie Costello there in Westminster as that protest at the redundancy of 800 P&O workers gathers pace